Let's look at the AFC playoff picture as we head into this weekend now. Steelers, bad loss, really bad loss. They go from being in the wild card race and in that playoff position to now the lurking column. And guess who gets back in the playoff picture? The Texans right now are back in the playoff picture. They play the Jets this weekend, which looks like a good matchup for them. Of course, the Browns and the Ravens, two other AFC North teams, are in, and the Bengals are right there on the outside coming off a win. Really clouded picture after that 1-2 seed. This is why it gets fun. We've got a couple of weeks left to go in the year, and it's still anybody's ballgame.
4 more games for these teams, but for the Steelers, it is such crunch time. They came out, I thought that they would be a little bit, I guess, like crisper when they came out in this game, coming off of the way that the game ended against the Cardinals. It was terrible. But instead, Bailey Zappi and the Patriots just marched right down the field, the opening drive touchdown. What was your thoughts on how this game unfolded, especially that first half for Bailey Zappi?
It was almost like the teams were flipped. Like the New England Patriots looked like a team fighting to stay in the playoffs and to continue to keep going and try to get as far in as they could, wild card and moving up. The Steelers looked like the team that was 2-10, which was very surprising coming off a loss to a 2-10 team. This is the first time in NFL history a team above 500 loses to 2 teams back-to-back that are 8 games or below 500. Yeah. But the Steelers, they're a team, and you heard Minka Fitzpatrick's comments after the game, and he's talking about what guys need to do and wearing the black and yellow and what it means and all of that. But you look at them defensively, they came out, and Bailey Zappi, you just said it, Kyle, they couldn't get the ball past the 30. They came out and went straight down the field, a big play to Juju Smith-Schuster. Then they're hitting Hunter Henry over the middle. And it was opportunities. You look at that last Hunter Henry touchdown, and that should be intercepted. Kazi's right there and doesn't make the play. So there's so many question marks around this Steelers team. You heard them chanting from Mason Rudolph in the first half. And I said it when Kenny Pickett went down. They were already an offense that were absolutely struggling. Then you enter Mitch Trubisky. You can't expect this team to now take another step when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. But last night, the surprising thing to me was the defense. The offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers just hasn't been good. And for them to allow New England to come down the first half and kind of just set the tempo and put up 21 first half points, when a lot of us, you're looking at the score, and you heard Al Michaels allude to it when it got to 31 points. Well, there goes everybody else's thoughts who thought this game was going to be under 30. So very surprising. This is a Steelers team that we expected, especially going into the season. We had them in the playoffs, and this is the way they've been trending. To see them play last night and then the Cardinals game, very upsetting to where they're trying to get to in this postseason.
Two terrible back-to-back losses. To lose to the Cardinals, a 2-win team in your building on a Sunday is like, all right, that's going to happen. The 1 o'clock game, it's a terrible loss.
Flush it out.
All right, well, we have a short week. Let's go back and let's get right. Let's just get it out of the system. And then to look even worse in the first half against a Patriots team that, yes, as well coached as they might be, is coming in having been shut out at home to the Los Angeles Chargers 6-0 4 days earlier.
Oh, God.
They're chanting Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, the Steelers, they signed Trubisky, and it's like they had him. We know what he is. Like, it's not. And then they're chanting for Mason Rudolph, And then you, after the game, see some of the stuff, just the analytics. I'm not a huge next-gen stats means everything. Did you guys see this? No. Take a look at this right here. You've got that as George Pickens' route tree.
No.
On his targets.
This is the only passes he was targeted on. That right there is as incriminating about the offense as anything. George Pickens, one of the electric deep threats in the game, one of the most electric receivers once he gets the hands of the ball. George Pickens, who has made all these big plays with Pickett in the fourth quarter and has been non-existent. It was anemic. And Tomlin can say it's what we do. We're confident. They've already fired the offensive coordinator. Now you've got this two-headed monster that we did flips about after they had 400 yards in a game. And we're like, all right, we got it fixed. They've got an offensive coordinator, but there's another guy who draws the plays up, another guy calls the plays. Pickens, look at him. Just come on. You're a Steelers fan right now. You could listen to it any way you want. Like, the offense is just not good enough to win games. And I don't know if it's going to get fixed in the final 4 weeks of the season.
It's not, and it's unbelievably bad. Here's how historically bad it is. Bring it up. Teams that have winning records, that have an offense this bad, and this is, again, after the coordinator goes, all time.
Oh, wow.
16.2. I mean, I'm looking up, that 2005 Bears team was like, Rex Grossman was hurt and Kyle Orton is in, but Urlacher was cracking skulls, so they still won. Like, the Steelers are one of the worst offenses ever on a team that matters, and they're rapidly not mattering. Like, I'm looking so directly at Mike Tomlin, is that you can do like the cool Tomlin tough guy act ever, and that's who we are. Your team captain is in the locker room saying that people need to start working harder. The offense is terrible. As Jason pointed out, the defense didn't show up. The last weeks, I think, were the worst 2 weeks in Mike Tomlin's time there. Like, this is that bad. And we're entering one of the biggest games that we've seen the Steelers play in a couple of years against the Colts next week. You have to win. And I do that, what Minka's saying the players do. You just see the Steelers, and you're like, yeah, they'll Steeler their way through this. Mm-hmm. They're not. Like, they're slowly giving this away. You can't lose that game. You can't. I do have to say a couple things about the Patriots. Holy crap, that was a great night.
It's fun.
Did you see, I mean, two old war horses. First of all, Zeke. There was an interception that Bailey threw that is an easy pick six for the Steelers. Watch Ezekiel Elliott at the top of the screen. Just booking. And that is a touchdown. That is exactly what Pittsburgh needed when their offense is terrible. It's unbelievable play by him. Like, it's not DK chasing down Buddha, but it is all effort on a terrible team for a guy who doesn't need to do that if he doesn't feel like it's amazing. Another moment I have to point out. End of the game, Zeke again pretty much ices the thing with a 12-yard run. Mm-hmm. All right, so they're going to win. They're going into Pittsburgh. It's a good run. Watch the sideline after Zeke gets up. Look at this man.
Yes!
Damn! And I was going to do it again. Do it again, Bill. Do it again. Do it again!
It's bubbling.
Yeah! I've never seen him do that. Maybe the heart of the Brady era when they're playing Baltimore in the playoffs or something. That's a 2-10 coach. All right? So, but I do have to put this bow on it. Afterwards, there's this video of Matthew Slater in the locker room, and our coach isn't afraid of towels, and like just this great thing. I look at Instagram, the Patriots Instagram, okay? And it's like final, and the score, and they're celebrating, and the caption is primetime dub. You guys, these comments. First comment, why did we do that? Second comment, y'all don't even know how to tank correctly. I'm actually mad that we won. What the hell are you guys doing? And my favorite comment, watch us win our next few games, have no quarterback in the draft, and have to chase after Kirk Cousins instead. Like, that, there's a weird thing. We all know Patriots fans who are like, let's lose. It's working. This is great. There's a thing amongst the New England fan base that's like, that was not good last night, guys. We just blew our future. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm more about like, finish 3-14, get a win in prime time. But there's some people who are mad about it, and I see their take completely.
It's funny that you say that, too, because I was thinking to myself, it's almost like the Patriots are taking out all of their frustration from the entire season on the Steelers in this game. And it was like Ezekiel Elliott was finally getting involved, and he finally got his touches. It was almost like a therapy session for the Patriots. And Bill Belichick, you see him doing things that he hasn't done all year long or even in years, in fact. So the way that Bailey Zappi came out in this game, he hit on, I think it was like 14 of his first 21 passes. He was just all on. They were locked in. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's giving people hugs pregame, and then he comes out and has a really nice game.
Juju's been invisible all season, goes back to Pittsburgh and looks like the Juju of old. It was incredible.
Yeah, I don't know what got into them, but I mean, yeah, there's going to be a lot of fans that are unhappy that all of a sudden they just decided to show up and have a little bit of life and show some spark and have a pulse finally. But I think that it's really good for the players just psychologically to have a game like that and to be able to go out and still feel good about what they were able to do. Now, I don't know what this says about the Steelers' defense because that opening drive touchdown, they marched right down the field. It was 75 yards, immediate touchdown. So there's a lot of issues in Pittsburgh, and it's almost like the Cardinals beat them twice, but now they have to fight to go back into the playoff picture, and it's been kind of fluky all season long with the Steelers, and now they kind of are proving that as they fall out of contention after 2 bad games back-to-back in 4 days.